that's more time than we would have had.
Well, okay. You have 60 minutes. You have 30 minutes for 2 FRQs with your calculators. That's like 15-15-ish. And then technically you don't have to put the FRQs away. You could keep working, but you have to put your calculator away. And then you open up the other 4 FRQs and you have an hour. So total you have 90 minutes for 6 FRQs, aka 15 minutes each. But there are definitely more word-intensive, concept-heavy FRQs that will take longer to wade through and make sure you're answering than ones like these.
So then will there be like easier ones to make up for it, or no?
Well, that's what I mean. This is the easier one.
Oh.
This one should have taken like maybe 2 minutes to process, and then maybe like 8 minutes to try to solve. And then you move on, and then you come back to it if you need to make sure everything's good. But it just depends on your perspective, I guess, as to, I don't know. Depends on how much you watch the clock and how much you just go for it and see how it goes. But the two that you have no option is you have to use all 30 minutes on the first 2 FRQs that are calculated. You're not even allowed to open the other packet. So you use 30 minutes there. And then it's like, okay, 60 minutes, if I were you, I would start right away at number 3, and if I had time, I'd go back and finish little like bits and pieces of 1 and 2, making sure that you've used your calculator to its fullest extent in those 30 minutes. Bust through these 4 and then go back. But some people keep working on these for a bit longer and then go for the 4. Some people go through all the FRQs and identify the topics and like, ooh, I like these ones. Once you open the 4, you're stuck on these 2. You say, I'm going to do this one, then this one, then this one, and then this is my worst one. I'll do my best with the time remaining. There's a lot of different strategies. Okay, so as we come to this one, question number 5. This is in the second set of FRQs. It almost always is. Every now and then they might throw it in like one of the calculator ones, but usually there's always an FRQ with a differential equation somewhere that's more mathy. And then there's usually a different FRQ that has a differential equation, something about the rate problem, something similar to rate. It just doesn't look quite like this because it's not as mathy. There's some sort of scenario like concert tickets, amusement parks, snow falling, bananas being, whatever, people going on an escalator, I don't know. So they're usually kind of like 2 FRQs that need these skills to some degree. But as you guys are facing this FRQ, letter A might have bogged you down a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do letter B first, which to some degree, I don't know, at least some of you probably should have done B first and then gone back to A. So I'm going to do B over here because you could have, in the actual FRQ booklet, you could have bumped ahead, gone ahead to the B portion where there would have been a nice space for B with the B question. So I'm going to go and do that up here. So you guys should have multiplied. Let's see, did you separate it correctly? Did you have y dy equals quantity 3 minus x dx before you integrated?
Yeah.
Nice. And you can get points. If you didn't, then you lost all of them.
You get points, how many? 1?
Like 1.
Yeah, usually 1 for separation of
1 out
variables.
of 9.
Hey, if you guys want, remember, there's 9 of these, 9 points possible in this one, and it's out of a total of 108 for the entire AP. If you can get somewhere around 25, 27, you've gotten out of the 1 category. Wait, think about that. You've gotten out of the 1 category, so you can get 3 of these. Huh?
What's the minimum for a 3?
Isn't it like
For a 3, it's usually somewhere around the 40s? Mid-30s. Mid-30s, 40s.
Mid-30 points?
Mm-hmm.
Like 30 out of the 1
a 5
8
is
points?
Okay.
How many multiple choice points are there?
Do 1 each.
Multiple choice are with 1.2 each, so then there's a total of 45.
So can you like answer like C for all of them and like
It's not going to be smart because you're going to lose a lot of FRQ points because remember, if you
but what
make
if
them...
you do the FRQs correct?
True. But you're going to have to see as you take the mocks and as you take the practices where your strengths and weaknesses lie. And you're going to notice that, like, I had it right. I just lost it because I made a mistake somewhere else. Remember? If you don't write a DX, if you don't write it, like it, yeah. Okay, but still, 9 out of 108. Like, not bad. If we can get 3 of these, or if we can get 1 of these and, like, I don't know, 10 multiple choice. You could already be in the 2, maybe 3 category, at least getting close. Okay, so, here we go. Did you guys get 1 half y squared?
Yeah.
Equals 3x minus x squared over 2 plus c.
Is that another point?
1, 2, 3, 4. Up to 4, sometimes 3. Depends on how they do it. Sometimes they have the antiderivative be worth 2 separately. And bringing in a C usually gets you your own point, but it kind of depends. Sometimes they have this worth 1 and then that worth, or like this worth 1 and that worth 2 and 3. But probably about 3 points, maybe 4. Let's keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Multiply by 2.
What? I mean, I guess you could. You have options. Right now, you could go ahead and go get your clue and say, I need to plug you in. Or you're going to say, nah, I'm getting y by itself first. So I heard Adam getting y by itself first, so I'll do that. Multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. P.S. The people grading your exams, they're pretty good at math. You don't necessarily need to show that, but you could. Now, careful though. That would have been bad. So y squared is equal to the shabam. How do I get to y? However, when I do that, don't I have a plus or minus square root? My people that accidentally put A on that multiple choice yesterday instead of B? Nope, you put B instead of A? How did it go? You chose the positive square root instead of the negative square root. We have to make a choice, and how do we know which one to choose?
Look at the clue.
Put your finger and say, where am I? Like Saudi Arabia Island. Where are you? Oh, I'm in the negatives. Okay. So let's choose the negatives and let's plug in the point 6, negative 4. So I have negative 4 is equal to negative square root of 6 times 6. Now guys, I totally understand that I told you before to stick it to the man, but can I box this and be done?
No.
You haven't gotten C, and you haven't plugged it back into Y. No. You have to get exactly what they asked for, which was y equals y by itself with a function with a C plugged in. Now, could you do things like multiply by a negative? To be honest, I think this is making it harder more than anything. Could you then square it? Could you then go ahead and subtract and subtract? You could. You could make this really nasty. Just be careful if you don't put a parenthesis in the right spot. By trying to stick it to the man and not actually do math, you might make it worse on yourself and end up making a mistake you didn't mean to. For instance, you guys know that a negative 4 is a positive 4. And that 4 squared is 16. Hopefully. Like, it's up to you as to whether you actually do the math. Just be careful. And shouldn't you know 36 minus 36 is just 0? But either way, you could have just kept it the negative 4 quantity squared and then minus the 6 and then plus the 6 squared. C equals and just thrown in the mess up here. You could have done that. Just, not there. There. But depending on, once again, if you guys put a parenthesis in the wrong spot, you just made your right answer wrong, and that sucks. So we end up with y equals the negative square root of PS. You were at a 3-ish, and then you were at 4-ish for actually plugging in the clue.
Wait, so this
you're at 5-ish.
It's 7 points.
Probably. No. I'm guessing this one's 6, but I'm thinking this one's going to be about 3 because I know that you're going to use the test. You're going to have to talk about critical
I thought
numbers.
B would be worth less because it's less words. It's fine though.
If you put the parentheses after the sign, but let's say you still do it right, would the grader still mark you off?
You just had to get both of these negatives inside the squared. Does that make sense? Because if the negative's not inside the squared, then technically you're saying a negative when it should have been a positive. Does that make sense? So we end up with what? 6x minus x squared plus 16.
And so, can you point out where the points are?
I could, but it'd probably be better if, just because you're pondering the AP question, I just pull up Calculus AB 2002 free response. This is question number 5. You know where I'm going, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through all the analysis, like who missed what, but this is actually these differential equations. Just think of it. They should be easy points, and people lose them every year, even if they get the right answer. So it is one of those that it might be smart to go read the grader's notes about what people miss. But for you guys to see, Form B. Sorry, Form B. My bad. I forgot it was Form B. Oh yeah, see it is worth 6 points. What? I knew it. All right. P.S. I kidding? When I say if you don't separate right.
Oh my gosh, so you don't.
Now pause. This isn't if you don't separate right. It's that it's if you don't separate. Meaning you could have made a mistake and had it like 1 over y, and they would still maybe give you some of these points if you got them. But if you didn't separate and you just take the integral of like a dy dx, nope, you just lost all 6. Oh, that's awful. Because we're fighting for every 1, let alone 6. But if you separate legally, check it. That's 1. If you take the antiderivative of the dy, that's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. And then that's properly giving it 6. But if you make a mistake, like you put the positive instead of the negative, you just lost 1. If you make a mistake, like you if you show an integral and you don't have a dy or don't have a dx, you just lost another one. If you what else could you guys do? I mean, if you miss the wrong c, of course you miss one, because then you use it, but then you don't. Well, actually, remember, if you make a mistake, then so even if you like did the right process, but you didn't put the negative, that loses 1. If you miss the c, that loses another 1. If you didn't put a dx, you lose another 1. Anyway, those mistakes count against you, Kathleen.
Where was that negative from?
Got to figure out where you're putting your finger and which wind you're supposed to be following. Check out your point. What was your point? G of 6 is equal to? You needed your y's to be the negative ones. It's plus or minus square root when you square root a square. Because this is technically absolute value of y, which can be a positive or a negative. So in my work, I said, hey, it's a plus or a minus depending on where you, that's where I am. Okay, I need the negative. Oh, because I had to plug in. Because I multiplied to the other side. I mean, you have to solve somehow. I guess you could have squared, and then you could have squared. But if you put the squared without a parenthesis, technically it's illegal because you need to square the entire thing. A negative times a negative is a positive. The whole thing with a negative. Yeah, because a negative times a negative is a positive. I just moved it and then squared it. So I'm teaching Algebra 1 where I teach them get the square root of Rome before you square it. It's safer.
And then, if you don't write everything exactly.
Like what?
Their
math was different than my math. They had like 8 and 18 and awkward stuff, and I solved it this way. As long as it's legal, you're okay.
But they can do like mental math.
Oh yeah. No, that's why I was saying people grading your exam, they know math. Meaning, like when I went from here to here, did I show my times 2? No, because I can do times 2. Yeah, go ahead.
So like for the thing that was like 36 minus 36, like can you like just cross that out and like
that's legal, right?
you would know why.
Or you could just not cross it off. No, it's okay, it's okay. But Kathleen, it's also you cannot cross it off and just it disappears because it's 0. You don't have to show. Yeah, they're good. It's not so much. We show work to not make mistakes and to make sure they understand that we know what we're doing. But they don't need to know that we know multiplication, division, subtraction, right? They need to know that we know calculus. Okay. Yes, there was another part to the set part too, right? That we totally skipped. And that some of you guys are like, there's so many words and I just failed because I don't know how to do it. Remember, 6 and 3. Go do the 6 and then come back and be like, okay, if I can, I'll grab a few more points. This one says, let y be the particular solution, not find, not solve, but just let. And you're like, okay, cool, there's a solution. Good. Yeah. Such that, well, but this one doesn't give a clue, does it? So it's using the same differential equation, but your finger might be in a different spot, so it might be behaving differently. Right? Okay. Y equals negative 2 is, do you guys see that word tangent?
Yes. So there's a point.
Find the x-coordinate at the point of tangency and determine whether f is a local mass or local min or neither at this point. If I'm not supposed to be finding this until letter B, if you read the whole FRQ, you would realize here's where the integral is. If you're not supposed to be finding going backwards with the integral until here, What's the other way that we can make a match without going backwards? Going forwards, right? So, if this guy is tangent going forwards, you guys remember when we did this last time? Didn't we take the derivative? What's the derivative of y? What's the derivative of negative 2? What does that mean to equal? They need to match. If I'm not going from a derivative back until here with an integral, I must be going from here to a derivative. I can make that guy's derivative match that. We've done this before, but it's been a couple sections. I think it was 5.1. So can't we go ahead and, wait a minute, is this tricky? What happens when you multiply by y? Which is actually perfect, because what am I supposed to be solving for? Look, I got another point. Probably, maybe, no, probably that was just 1 point. Might have been 2 because we took derivatives and matched them up, but probably just 1. So we found the x coordinate. Wait a minute, how can this be a local max or a local min if I don't have set like critical numbers, all the critical numbers? Second derivative test says all you need to do is look at the at. You don't need to have a sign chart. You don't need to have an original function. You can look at the at. And how do you look at the at? Well, second derivative test says, right? Fine. Second derivative test for, I don't even know the answer yet, but I'm setting it up. Since, what's the first thing you need before you ever go looking at the second derivative? Relative extrema only occur at what types of points? Crits. Wait, crits, isn't the derivative needing to equal like 0 or d any? What did we just figure out? 0. Since dy dx at, at 3, negative 2, right? Don't we have the x and we have the y? Is 0. And the people grading know what a critical number is, and we just showed it. You can state it's a critical number, or you can just say the derivative is 0. We're fine. It's a crit. We just made it, or showed it. And the second derivative, I'm supposed to know what the second derivative is for the second derivative test? We need to find the second derivative. Okay. We'll come back. We already have it ready to go. We just need to figure out less than or greater than 0, right? Second derivative, how do I find that? I derive the derivative. And help me out, I don't have it written down. I do, but it's up there. Is it 3x, 3 minus x equals over y? Bottom? D top? Minus top? It's a Friday. D bottom? Ooh! You remember how to do that? Implicit differentiation? Wait. Aren't I supposed to be finding this at the point 3, negative 2? I'm just kind of doing that, so it's like the whole thing at 3, negative 2. So yeah, I can plug in, because this is going to be, wait, I don't even need to know what the number is. I just need to know if it's negative or positive. I'm not going to like make a mistake and then lose my point. Minus 3 times, oh wait, and the derivative is, what's the derivative at this point? But I can't plug in something wrong, or else I'm going to be in trouble. But yeah, you could have put dy dx. It will become 0 because of 3 minus 3. All over negative 2 squared. My question to you is, what is the sign? Do you see it? A negative times a negative all over a positive is a positive. All I need to say is, I don't care what the number is. Greater than 0. Then, hey, what's the second derivative test say? If I have a critical point, aka a horizontal tangent or a sharp point, and my concavity is up, it's a relative min. See how my knowledge of my forevers is crucial to answering the question and showing that I have a full grasp on the concept and I have fully proven what they asked me to do. Why is it what? Wait a minute. I didn't say anything about concave up. I didn't need to. Why? Because they know calculus. That's why they're grading the exam. Okay, with that, we are technically at the end of our chapter. I mean, we have been for a while. Section 5.3. I have the evens up here. Ooh, sorry, that's the answer key that I pulled up for Adam. You guys could look at this one if you want. X equals 3. Check it. You needed to find the derivative and set equal to and figure it out, but they just gave you a point for x equals 3. So if you found the wrong derivative, you would have lost that. That's a bummer. Or if you would have shown something illegal, you would have lost that x equals 3. Knowing that it was a local min, they gave you a point for knowing that, but then they also gave you a point for justifying it and explaining why. Little party poopers, they used the first derivative test. They never used that. This was 2002. Anyway. Second derivative test was definitely the way to go. In this one, they were able to go a little bit farther because if you set the derivative equal to 0 for critical numbers, it's either x is 0 or y is 0, but still. You should have used the second derivative test. Our way is better. Don't worry, our graders know calculus. Sometimes there are different ways of showing. But still. Evens. Boop, if you guys want to grade or if you want to ask questions. Some of you might not be ready for the evens. Remember, I am recording. It's due by midnight, 11:59. Well, because midnight's the next day, so 11:59 is the last minute I can put it on and still be today. Where am I going with this? Okay, I'm going to scroll through the evens. I'm going to go fast. And I only gave you 3? That was on purpose, I think. There's the test review. We'll get to it in a second. So here's your 10 and 18 if you guys are checking. If you guys read the directions, it didn't technically say to get y by itself, but in an FRQ, as you guys just noticed, they do like saying you have to get y equals a function, so you would have done a square root of both sides, although we don't know exactly where we are, as in which wind we are supposed to be following, so you would have needed to have put both plus or minus square root, or you could have put absolute value of y is square root, if you guys had kept going. This one you could have kept going, you should have kept going. Careful, do you have 1/2 the whole quantity ln of x squared? You cannot bring that 1/2 up. This isn't ln of x squared, it's ln of x squared. It's the whole ln that's squared. This is not a law of property. We could have made it ln of, no we couldn't. That's gross. Anyway, we could have almost brought it up in a really disgusting way. It would have been ln of x, one of the ln of x's could have become the square root of x. It could have been ln of x root x plus 2 if you guys wanted to rewrite it. But the goal is to get C, to plug it in, and to stop. And number 78 was a multiple choice. I'll come back to this in case you're still grading. And 78's multiple choice answer was B. Is there anything that you guys want to ask me that you got stuck on that you need in order to be able to proceed forward? Oh, Kathleen. I just saw it.
For 35 and 37, when it asks about the Euler's method.
Oh, sorry. You were supposed to. I meant to comment on that after you saw it, Adam. I apologize. The rest of the class. Euler's method is something that I've mentioned to you guys about, like baby tangent, baby tangent, baby tangent. That is not on the AB exam. So I love those questions for the part B and C. You are skipping part A entirely. Oh, the solutions of Euler's and the differential equation? I thought you were comparing the solutions.
It was from comparing the solutions, the particular solutions from A and B.
Oh, got it. I thought that you were, okay, I see. Then technically, I guess you're just doing part B.
Is 78 on here on the answer?
Yeah, I'll scroll down. I was letting people check. I said it was already B, as in boy, but then there's the solution. Yeah, I apologize. Skip Euler's. I just meant for you guys to do part B on 35 and 37. I'll put a comment on there just so I remember for next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For next year.
Well, or for anyone who hasn't started it and is going to be doing it later on today, they'll see the comment. You asked me yesterday. You knew. You silly boy. Okay, no other homework questions? All right, let me go ahead and show you guys the review then. I'm going to freeze the screen so you guys can see it. You guys can write it down. I can even go ahead, let's see, 5 and 7 and 15, I can maybe even get them on the screen. Ooh, I can. Ooh, I really can. I can show you like the majority of this. Let me freeze the screen so you guys can write this down. And as you do, I'll zoom in. On at least the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ooh, even 6 problems. All right, add the first 6 problems in your test review up here and ready to go. And if you guys notice, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, what, 17? 17 problems. I've stolen from 402 and from 404. I don't usually do this, but because page 404 has some multiple choice questions, and this chapter is where the multiple choice well, you guys know it's always hard to make it match, even if you kind of have the idea. Some of those multiple choice answers look real nice until you realize it's the really common mistake that they put in that answer choice. So I've given you the 1 through 6 and 9 are like test-ish questions as far as multiple choice, and then I think one long answer type. Just because, as you guys have seen, it's very common, not saying always, very common that one of these is at least somehow involved on the AP free response section. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, it's on Google Classroom if you guys need it. Let me go ahead and put up the actual beginning of the review because you guys have 10-ish minutes if you want to start playing on it. And remember, practice tests will be copied off by the end of the day. I will be leaving pretty quickly, like 2:50-ish, 2:55, if I'm trying to hit up some of the baseball game before going to my appointment at 1. Oh, I thought you had a question. No. Oh, some stretching? Yeah. Maybe I saw a card.
So how long is the test going to be? Like 5 problems?
Oh, how many problems?
The whole period.
You're thinking of free response. It's not a whole free response test.
Oh.
Right? But yeah, I can go ahead and tell you about how many problems. Let me look at one of the versions of the test. But think about, I can have you match slope fields. I can have you show flows. I can have you do a little bit of like growth and decay, doubling half-life, but remember that's not really on the APs. We don't really want to spend too much time on it, even though it's important. That's not what I want. Well, maybe that is what I want. Maybe that's not. Let's see. We have a good old-fashioned U sub integral, just because why not? We have to remember how to do U sub for these ones. We have some slope field multiple choice. There's like 4 of those. We have 4 regular multiple choice. And then we have 2, 3 long answer FRQs-ish.
I hate that I have to remember everything.
But in some ways, at least it's pretty clear that we don't waste time on stuff that we don't need.
Yeah, because
but then
comes back, the tangent, the trig stuff comes back every day. Okay, here we go. Number 1.
So all over, there are 12 questions. However, 3 of them have parts A, B, or A, B, and C. And then, actually, 4 of them have A, B, or A, B, or C. 4 multiple choice, 4 slope field matching. I'll remind you guys on Monday also, but Kyle, long story short, there are only 12 problems, but 4 of them have multiple parts. And some of them are like matching slope fields, which will take a little bit of time, but not as long as other multiple choice. The part that gets tricky, to be honest, is kind of the first 4 questions. So I'm always debating whether to give you the first 4 first or the first 4 last.
What are the first 4 about?
4 multiple choice questions like you're going to see on page 404, the numbers 1 through 6. Could be solving differential equations, could be something to do with growth and decay, could be integrating two or solving, making match solutions to differential equations. One of them is like an exponential growth and decay, and one of them is just a good old-fashioned integral, basically. So like the topics aren't difficult, but like the mistakes that could be made and and the desire for perfection that many of you guys have, or the desire to not give up, especially if you at least know how to start it, can slow some people down, if that makes sense. If they can't make a decision. Or if they're paranoid that the match is one of the common mistakes.
Miss, did you figure out that 555 thing?
Finally, yeah. The hints that were being given, I was thinking that there was some sort of like simple for, but I didn't realize they were just trying to say like, oh, there's more than one way of writing it. And I was like,
Yeah. I did the not equals right away, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's e squared minus.
so I was like, well, if there's only one, then I would need, because that's plus 5, I would need 540. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think
Because I
that.
thought they were trying to say like, I was like, okay, if I drew a little slash, it's 5K, and I was like, but that's 5,000. And then I kept thinking of like letters or symbols or.
Remember,
When really it was like, no, it's just numbers. But. Anyway.
Wait, I remember the e to the u rule. Isn't it? Wait, e to the u, isn't it e to the u over? Wait.
Over L and a V. You could do that, but L and a V is just one.
I don't remember anything. If we're going backwards,
Guess who texted me this morning? Miss V. She's like, hey, can you make sure that the no Instagram. She DM'd me.
Why didn't you DM me?
Because she trusts me more, I guess.
Oh,
With
okay.
her lesson plans.
What did she ask you?
She's like, you should have done this, and this. Like,
Why is she not here again?
spring training Dodgers.
why is it e
When are the
to
games?
just write it into the admin?
In like
So I don't understand.
At least you don't have to
Who?
remember
I don't know,
everything
but
that
she was in a
happened.
hanger. Right? She looks very nice. She's alive.
You kidding me?
Miss, do you have a
Probably
question?
should have
Yeah.
fly away everyone.
No, she was definitely in a hanger at Van Nuys.
Okay, for the e to the u rule for
Do you
integration,
not follow
why
her
is it
Instagram?
not over u prime?
I haven't been able to see anything, so.
How do you
Why?
Du contains u prime.
Oh,
So there is e to the u prime. We're going back to e to the u.
I always
Oh
forget
my
that.
gosh.
Look at that.
Wait, is it e to the u du?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's a negative.
What the?
Well, this is a new
I
flying
put sine
experience.
2x over 2 plus.
A hanger.
What's a hanger?
What's a hanger?
Tile.
Abby, you're scaring me. It's where they keep the planes while they're not flying.
Oh,
Where do you
hanger?
think they keep the planes?
I don't know.
In a hanger.
But
Okay.
it's spelled Hangar, not ER.
Is she flying on a private?
I don't know, but it looks like it.
Looks like something snazzy. Where's she going?
So,
Spring training Dodgers.
Oh.
Leaving us all behind.
Well, makes sense she's in a hanger then.
Yeah, she's not. She's like, this is a new flying experience.
You said it like 5 times.
Well, this is a new flying
If you
experience.
say anything, Kyle, maybe it'll stick with us.
Well, this is a new